All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 5 of Acting and Filmmaking Challenge Season 1. Sam. I started a class on Monday about the three phases of filmmaking, which we talked about the pre production, the production, and the post production. And I dwell on the pre production and production as of yesterday. And today I'm going over to the last stage of the filmmaking process, which is the post production. Now, the post production has to do with the editing part of your film. Editing part of the film. And if you're a filmmaker, the truth is, once you're done with the production, there are a lot of persons, once they're done with production, they will just give their film to an editor. They said, okay, just go ahead and do it. You do the production. The truth is, a very good film can be ruined by during a like with a bad post production. A good film can be ruined with bad post production. I've seen where people put a lot of effort in a film and they did shot different angles, different movement and all that because the editor was too lazy. The editor could not just go through all the whole shot, so he was just picking a shot that he just random like that and he just cut it and just do the film. But like, is it not this film they took a lot of time to shoot? Why is it like this? The truth is, if you want to have a good film, you have to go through the post-production. You're a filmmaker, whether you're an editor yourself, you're not. You have to go through the post-production. You have to sit down with the editor and do these things. Because at the end of the day, it might just be a no, 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 no. Or all your effort will just come running down as if you did nothing. Are we together? Good production can be ruined with a very bad post-production. Are we together? So this is one thing you need to take note of. Now, what are the different stages in post-production? The first is editing. Editing is you cutting your films in different sequence. That's you cut them the way you wanted. You take one, take two, you cut your films and put them together. Are we together? The different angles you took, you cut them and then you put them together. So now the editing has to do with you going through different angles that you took in your film, whether you took a master shot, then down to the close, the mid, and all that. So you extract every of these angles if need be, and then you mesh them together in your editing process. So it's going to take some time for you to do that, and you have to be very creative when doing that, because if you don't do that well, you might actually end up having a very bad film. Are we together? So be very creative when doing your editing aspect of it. Understand? So you have to watch the film all over again. You have to watch the entire script, the entire clips that you shot in that movie. You have to watch it scene by scene. So you'll be able to know, okay, I took so shot, I took so shot, I took so shot. Then when you start editing, you'll be able to say, okay, this is a shot that is going to come in now, this is a shot that is going to come in now, which is very important. Are we together? Now, once you're done with your editing, the next thing you need to look out for is color correction. Color correction is different from color correction is, you balancing your colors. Are we together? Correcting all your colors, which is very important, because the color correction is because when you shoot your film, you shoot on different temperatures, different environment and all that. So you have to balance the colors of every film, and sometimes the lighting sometimes changes some colors. So you have to look for a way to balance the colors before you go over to the next stage. Color correction is very important. Do your color correction properly. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry to just run the next thing I want to say now without doing color correction, because if you run what I'm about saying now without doing color correction, some of your clips will be bright, some will be dark, some will be looking somehow, some will be looking like this. Color correction will make you to balance these things first before going to the third thing, which is the color grading. A lot of people ignore color correction and they just jump into color grading. They shoot their film and the next thing they want to grade it. After cutting it, they are going. I've experienced that. I've done something like that, and at the end of the day, because possibly the system I was using then was not really that okay. That was back when I was in my university days. It was not really okay, so it was always like it hook a lot. So I was just in a hurry to do a film and just bring it out. So there was no need to do a color correction and all that. So the truth is, do color correction and correct it every of this thing before you go over to the next thing, which is the color grading. The color grading is the colors that you want your film to look like, which is, are we together? The color you want your film to look like. You have a tint and orange color grading. We have a lot of them like that. You could watch a good example. You can watch Matrix. Matrix has its own color grades. Yeah, all films have their own color grade. So you choose the color that you feel that, oh, I think this is my film look. It should look like this. If it's an horror scene, what do you want your film look to look like? So that's what the color grading. But the truth is, every color grading has to do with good lighting. Possibly you've done that work in your production by doing an effective lighting and all that before you talk about color grading to meet some certain things. Are we good? So once you're done with color correction, you enter color grading. The next thing is audio mixing. Audio mixing is very important. Audio mixing is it's not like because you recorded with a mic, the next thing you want to edit your film, you've done cuts, you've done color grading, the next thing you want to. No, audio mixing is different from music composition. Now, if you want to do your audio mixing, it's about you mixing the audio, the vocals, how it together, people that is talking in your film, all those talking, all those verbal, all those vocals. You have to sit down and mix them. If you go over to your mixing panel in your video editing, whether you're using a Premiere Pro or whatever, you will see audio mixing or audio effects or audio. Just check there, you'll see like mastering, you'll see equalizers, you'll see all of them. And first you have to learn how to mix audios, understand? So you learn it effectively. And once you're done learning that, you can mix your audio the way you want to do it. If you really want to go into audio mixing on all this, you can take an advanced classes with us at Advanced Film Academy, which is, we are very open for that, to give you a further training on how to mix your audios. Now, you have to do your audio mixing, which is very important. Once you're done by mixing all your audio of your cast or the people that you recorded on set, you make the audio balance. The next thing you have to go to is what they call music composition. Music composition is far different from audio mixing. Music composition is composing the sound for your films, that the necessary sound you want to use, the background music that you want to play, whether it's an action beat, whether it's a solemn beat, whether it's a tears or whatever emotional beats, whatever you feel, any background sound that is underneath your audio is what we call your music composition. So you make your selection of the sounds you want to use. A very good production can be ruined with a very bad music composition. Are we together? You can't be doing a romantic scene. Someone is trying to do a romantic scene and then you're playing let's say action beat or something in a romantic scene. It's going to just turn everybody off. Are we together? So there are audios you need to take note of. You have to do a proper audio composition, which is very important. Select the audios you want to use for every of your scenes. You can sit down with the editors and do this. Just don't allow them do it. They will do theirs and it's good. You have to just assess and see. If you want to create a sound for it, it's nice. If you want to create a particular beat for it, it's still good. You can go to the studio and do that. If you want to download on the internet, it's still open for you to do that. Now, once you're done with your your music composition, the last thing you have to do is your VFX. Your VFX is, we are talking about the effects you want to use in your video. All those effects you want to apply on those videos, you have to look out for them and then you do them. Are we together? So your VFX is the last aspect of it. So all the effects you want, whether you want someone's hands to go off or you want, possibly if you want someone's hands to go off, I'm sure you have done that in the production period before coming down to the post-production to finalize it. And let's say blood spilled, you want extra blood spilled. Maybe you already had a blood on someone, they stabbed someone, and then there was a blood there, and then the next thing you want another blood to spill during the post-production. It's still possible. 100, they can do all those effects, and whatever effects you are looking out for that you already made plans for in the productions, then it can be created in the post-production. So now these are all the stages of the post-production. I've discussed the first is editing, the second is color correction, the third is color grading, the fourth is audio mixing, the fifth is music composition, and the last is the VFX. Please, this is where I'm going to wrap today's class, and if you have any question, feel free to ask me this question in the WhatsApp forum, and I'll be right there to answer you. I'll meet you on the other side. Over we go. Last.